Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez Hans.
Yeah.
And now I give the floor to Mr. Oriol Esculies, Association Projecte. The title is Adapted Drug Misuse Treatment for Adolescents and Their Families.
Thanks, Gilberto Gela. Thanks, UNODC, and also Dianova for sponsoring this great session. Thanks for coming. I want to speak about adolescents and their families, those adolescents treated because of the drug problems in Projecte and within the framework of long-term treatment. Okay, just in 2 minutes I'll explain to you where I come from. I come from a big NGO for drug addiction in Spain, founded 30 years ago, and we treat every year not only adolescents but also adults, 20,000 people. We have around 70,000 beneficiaries of our prevention programs, mainly at schools, and with the force of around 1,100 employees, and what we consider essential, the collaboration of 2,500 volunteers throughout around 200 facilities. These facilities are mainly therapeutic communities, long-term therapeutic communities, day centers, outpatient centers, re-entry services, prevention programs, job services, employment, and what we call modified or adapted therapeutic communities for specific groups. For instance, drug offenders in prison, dual-diagnosed clients, alcohol dependents. We have some homeless shelters, women with children, or even pregnant women. And what we focus on today is our adolescents misusers. This is a map of Spain, and you can see highlighted in blue the areas where we treat adolescents in our facilities. Okay, these are data from 2013, where came to treatment around 4,500 adolescents. I cannot go deeper because I have no time, but in a general average profile of our beloved adolescents, the majority of them are men, as you see, from 14 to 21 years old, and they take cannabis as a main substance of abuse. I think this is particularly a specific reality from Spain and others. Some of them have dual diagnosed, and amongst these adolescents, we often see the several conditions as school failure, violence at home, from parents to them, from adolescents to their parents, robberies, sexual misbehavior, drug using friends, unemployment, and what I think it's more important, unemployment, and at the same time, I'm not looking for a job either. Remember that in Spain, we have a rate of unemployment for youngsters very high. I want to mention that, and I want to thank the presence of representative of the Spanish national government here in the session. And maybe you know that we have a very renowned and strong survey where you can see the rate of consuming of our adolescents in Spain. And if you see, the 80% took alcohol at least once a year, then tobacco, and the third one, where I want to focus on, almost 30% of our adolescents in Spain took cannabis and lose at least once a year. This is a lot. Then, my core presentation, just 5 minutes, I want to transfer you from our experience of 25 years working with adolescents and their families, and also from the evidence of some interesting studies that we have done, some conclusions or recommendations that maybe can be useful for your daily work in the field or even for defining drug policies abroad. There are 10 also. First, it seems a paradox because we are talking about the efficiency of long-term recovery, but I think that we should for adolescents to shorten the length of residential treatment, not more than 6-9 months, because adolescents don't easily bear long-term intense treatment, but at the same time to enlarge re-entry, follow-up, and aftercare programs 1, 2, 3 years as necessary. Remember, an adolescent starts treatment, for instance, at 15, and he finishes treatment at 60. But he's still an adolescent, he's still with the need of, and he will have a lot of difficulties. So we have to follow up him during a long journey. Not to mix adolescents, these are some common sense, but I think it's good to explain. Not to mix adolescents with older adults. 20 years ago, we had adolescents and adults together, all together. When we changed it and we put adolescents in therapeutic communities, apart of adults, there was a significant increasing of our retention, our adherence, and our success rate. Remember that adolescents avoid identifying themselves as traditional severe drug dependents. Next, to establish more realistic goals, focusing on promoting emotional empowering and skill building instead of only achieving drug-free. Tell them so. Tell them that for you it's not only important that our adolescents have to be drug-free. Tell them that for you the importance is him and the power of him. To individualize treatment plan for each adolescent, because every adolescent differs from another. They need specific responses. And also in this age, they need to feel as unique. To reduce the number of strict rules in order to increase adherence to treatment, keeping then only those core rules. Okay, you cannot take drugs in treatment. Violence is not permitted. Core rules, but not, you cannot wear earrings, you cannot wear sports shoes, you cannot take more than 3 coffees. There's too many rules. An adolescent cannot stand that. Acting out is inherent to adolescents. To promote the engagement at school job, the main facilities that we run in Spain suit during afternoon, evening, because they should be at school during the morning. To put in residential facilities only in cases of critical episodes. Long-term treatment doesn't necessarily mean residential all the time. So don't take adolescents out home if it's not really necessary. Don't take adolescents out of their daily life that it can be a protective factor if it's not necessary, only in extreme critical cases or episodes. To deal with specific adolescents' disorders, like food disorders, it's not easy when appears at the same time drug using disorder and food disorders, men and women. ADHD, learning disorders. The last one, not to reject all drug using friends until a new positive friends network comes out, because adolescents can't stand the feeling of being alone. Adults can do that. We can stand being alone for a while. Meanwhile, we find new positive non-drug using friends. But for adolescents, friends are the most important. So just help them to find a new network, and he will leave the old drug using network by himself. to involve parents as key references. We work a lot in Projecte with parents, which we think it's a powerful tool, offering them family therapy. They suffer a lot and they have to understand what's going on and how can they help their sons. In the same sense, to involve teachers from school, to recruit high qualified staff. If you work with adolescents, you already know that not everyone can work with adolescents because it's very hard. So selecting proper staff is one part of the success, but this is not enough, as you already know. And training them continuously and taking care of them continuously is also part of the success. For instance, in Projecte we have self-help groups each week for our staff. Once a month we have external kind of coaching from outside. Every 3 years we move staff to another facility, so we do a lot of things in order to take care of them. To put into treatment, I'm using creative activities as sport, nature, art, night leisure, new technologies, which motivate them, promote change on them, and strengthen the bonds with staff. And these are just six, 7 pictures of our great adolescents. This is a theater play, hiking. Once we went sailing. Mountain. Sunbathing, in Spain. This is what we call, because I'm coming from Barcelona, this is what we call human towers. Football. Barcelona is the best, Self-help group. Painting, graffiti. Discussing. Okay, thank you very much.